Hi guys, welcome to today's video. Today we're going to be looking at the second part of retro review, and that's going to be my Canon 1DS Mark I. So this is a camera I've literally very recently just picked up. It is a very low shutter count, a very good example of the 1DS. Considering this camera's over 20 years old, it's got 47,000 shutters on it and came with the original packaging, and there's a couple of marks on it, but apart from that, absolutely nothing. So we're going to go through the specs of this, and also we can compare it as well to my new 1DX Mark II and see what difference you're getting in with almost a 20-year difference between cameras, what you gain, what you lose, and we'll go from there and have a look at that in the next part now. So this is the 1DS Mark I. It's doesn't look massively different, even like the modern stuff. The only thing that makes the modern stuff look a bit bigger is this new top part they put on, and obviously the extra buttons here. But for now we'll just stick with the 1DS Mark I. This is their full frame version. The 1D was obviously a crop sensor version of the camera. This is the full frame version here. It has a 11.1 megapixels. It was produced from November 2002, so it is literally 20 years old this year. It had an ISO range of 100 to 1250, and it took up to an 8 gig memory card maximum in there. So you can imagine now I'm running 128 gigs in the 1DX Mark II, but you can get up to a terabyte cards now, and this has a single non-redundant CF slot which takes up to a maximum of 8 gigabytes. So very limiting back in the day, but the file sizes were very much smaller on there as well. Inside the viewfinder here you've got 45 AF points, which is more than I thought there'd be when I first picked this up here. You've got shutter speeds all the way from 1/8000th of a second all the way to 1/30th of a second. It's a pretty beastie machine. You've got your full frame sensor nicely in there. You've got the older style larger batteries in here, which if you get these out here, if you will come out, is a bit tight is the only thing I found with this one here. So place that there. So this is the battery that comes in the older style stuff. It's this huge battery here. If we compare that to the battery that comes in the newer stuff, you get more life, but noticeably lighter and way smaller as well, which no surprise how time goes after 20 years of development there. So they're the two differences on the battery front. Leave it out for now. Top wise though, we will compare the two for this. You'll see a few more buttons on there, but you still have everything you really need on here. You've got your focus point decider on top of here. You've got another one there. You've got a massive dial here to go through all your photos, change your ISOs and everything. You've still got your front dial there and your shutter release in front of it as well. Got your on off buttons there. I've already shown you where the memory card lives on the side there, and then you've got your flash, shutter release, and then your digital cable connector in here as well, which a lot of people are obviously transferring by wire rather than by card. You've got your built-in battery grip with your shutter release down there, and you've got your adjustment dial on here too, and an off. So the way it physically feels when I picked this up after picking out and buying it, the way it picks up naturally is very similar to the modern cameras. The way they feel, the way they hold is a little bit heavier. The only thing you're really missing is if you look on the back of the more modern ones, you've got your video function and you've got your AF on where you've got your selector here. So you're missing out on the back button focus, which is up here. And you don't get any of these little dials here as well, but you don't really need one on a camera like this just because of its age. But overall still, say very noticeably in hand, very similar design cues that have come through. So not massive change that design side of things. It's just they've maybe smartened up a bit, put way more functionality obviously in the newer stuff. You still have all your mode buttons on the top. Everything here is in the same location as it is on the new stuff, which is quite nice to see. And a shame they moved away from these black metal flash holders and stuff and went to a silver one. I think the black one looks quite sort of neat and a little bit more premium almost really rather than that. But the way they physically look and the way they feel, say, pretty much identical. Both full frame sensors. They've not actually got massively bigger now. They actually went to 24, I think, in the Mark III version of this, and then they went back down to 18 in the 1DX, 20 in this one here, and then 24 in the Mark III. So they've only just really got back to where they got to originally with the Mark 1s. So these are just massively faster. This is 3 frames a second compared to 14 frames a second. So that's where we've kind of come along there. Quite a big difference in the shutter rate there. But that's the sort of overview of the specs and looking around of the 1DS. And we'll go back to the final part of the video now for you. So that's the overview of the 1DS Mark I and comparing it to the 1DX Mark II. I hope you enjoyed the video. Let me know if any of you guys have one of these, are still using it at all, and what you're using it for. Do you use it quite a lot, or do you just have it as a collector's item or anything else like I do? I did ask in the last video as well if you guys want to see me go out and actually shoot with these cameras, bring in the photos and bring them in and pull them in to the software and have a look at them side by side with the 1DX. I can do that if you want to see that kind of thing. At the moment it just seems like you just want to learn about the older kit and go from there. The next video will be next month, so probably just after Christmas, maybe in that Christmas New Year week, I'll do a video on the 1DX Mark II. By then hopefully I might even have a 1DX Mark IIN as well, so I can have both of those cameras and do a like for like review between what was the difference between both of them, because they're both Mark IIs, but there's a Mark II and a Mark IIN, and they're pretty much the same camera apart from one very key difference, which I can go through when I've got both of those in hand. So as always, please subscribe, comment and like. A lot of you have been subscribing recently, which is great, and I will catch you guys later for more content. Thanks for watching. Goodbye.